Spirit, this is that place that John the Revelator is talking about. You know? Because America, because I think they look like Northern Kingdom brothers. See, America done totally messed up the minds of all the Israelites, you know, Southern and Northern Kingdom. You know, so at the end of the day, we got to get up out of this place because, see, the Most High made you to be with a woman. I don't even know why. And it's nice to be with a woman, you know, because we talk to women, you know. It's nice to be with a pretty, beautiful woman. So why would you want to be with a man? What's wrong with you people? Right. But that's how you know the Most High put demons on you. You know, you got some out? All right, Esau.
All right.
Matthew 5, verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
So we're being persecuted on the highest level, man. All right, but soon when that time of trouble hit, all right, everybody's gonna be persecuted at that point. But they're gonna mainly come for us servants, the prophets, man. All right, because we're teaching what this world don't teach. You know, we teach everything that this world teaches is not contrary to the scriptures, man. All right, it's the opposite. And that's why the Lord is going to make a swift change upon this earth, man. The Lord is coming to crack open these skies and see what these people have done to the earth, man. He's coming to save the earth, all right? And his elect. That's all he's come to save, man. Everybody else is just going to doubt it, you know? And that's why it's good. That's why it's good to stay in this truth, because if you stay in this truth, man, all right, it's like a safe haven, man. This truth is a safe haven. You play the video game Dying Light, you know, it got some messages in the game, subliminals in the game. Are these people having to survive on their own for water, food, supplies, you know? And basically they gotta have the like LED lights to be in that safe haven. Well, in that time you're gonna have this word as that safe haven, man. Yep. Like unto that. The word is like unto light, man. You know?
Yeah, and all women are dressed like whores out here, bro. But this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 70. This 2nd Ezra 16 and 70. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So we know they're going to come after us. That's what Ezra is saying, those that fear the Lord. Now, how do you fear the Lord? By keeping his commandments. That's how you show and you prove that you fear the Lord. All right, then verse 73, it says, then shall be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as the gold in the fire. Right, so the Most High, he's going to reveal who his chosen are. He's going to reveal too who is actually teaching the 100% doctrine as well. And we know through the Spirit that's the man of GMS. So you know, everything's going to be revealed, you know. And really, we're living in some scary but beautiful times, you know. This is the same. Let me get that Matthew. This is what the prophets wish they were living in these times when they saw these things. I think it's in Matthew 16. Maybe it's Matthew. Oh, my bad, Salaki. It was actually Matthew 13. So it's Matthew 13 and 16. It says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. And we're blessed because not everybody's going to be able to understand this truth, the true doctrine. You know, it's really a stumbling block that God only loves Israel, and he's only for the Israelites. Because my mom asked me the other day, she was like, so you believe that the other nations are not going to be in heaven? And I was like, no, I never said that. What I said was, it's not going to be the way you think. You think we're all going to be together holding hands, like it's a big kumbaya, like it's just like all love. No, y'all other nations are going to pay according to the prophecies what you guys did. And verse 17, it says, for verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those sayings which you hear and have not heard them, right? So basically the prophets, they wanted to be living in these times, They wanted to see the destruction of Babylon the Great. They wanted the kingdom. Because like when you read Acts 1-6, they were asking Yahushua, when are we going to get the kingdom, So they were ready back then. So how much more in these times? So this is Acts 25:7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy with his children.
Black Israelites or regular Israelites?
We're Israelites.
Like,
The Israelites are brown skinned. They're not black. No one's black on earth.
Okay, so like you mean like Issacharites and all of them?
Well, Issachar, that would be you guys. You guys so-called Mexican?
I guess so.
Yeah, you guys from the tribe of Issachar. But we don't really identify ourselves as black.
They have the black, you know what I mean? So,
Well, they call us that as a derogatory term. No real Israelites. We don't call ourselves black.
right.
But yeah, you guys would be from the tribe of Issachar. Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Thank you for the wisdom and knowledge.
Well, how'd you know? You ran across some Israelites?
I'm still kind of like, I believe in that's who we are. In reality, that's who we are. Low key, compared to any other race, we're the most high. That's what I believe in. But at the same point, I mean, you know what I mean?
We're most knowledgeable. Like, we have, like, the ancestry, the history, like, we believe in the most. We have, like a set beliefs that are realistic.
I know it says that our race can be put through like slavery, this and that, and like tribes of works and all of that. I believe in that too, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a little bit confusing, you know what I mean?
What you mean?
Well, not confusing, but like
it's just like coming to
sometimes
terms,
you question your faith.
Yeah, coming to terms with like not both races, but I just say like 2 separate sets of beliefs. Because with each race and with each like history coming down, it's more history than anything. You have different upbringings, and it's just hard to, not really hard to understand, but like to really get to terms with what you're coming to. Yeah, because we're both brought up on different things.
So you guys grew up Catholic?
I did, but I never lived.
I have a Catholicism belief, but it's not really like it's not within the church to like really believe in this. So. Because I believe in a Santissima, but she's like the Holy Death. And like I've come to grips with death, but I've also wanted to come to grips with life too. So I've tried to see the light within that.
Okay. Y'all been westernized then,
Yeah.
Every belief y'all been taught, as far as the Catholic, Christianity, different other religions, you all been westernized. But at some point, the Lord has to give us his knowledge and wake us up to really put on his name.
We're from Dallas, so we could. I've seen like the regular Issachar, like over there, the Israelites. They've been telling me stuff about it. I believe it. But at the same time, sometimes like you kind of question your faith a little bit. Like, damn.
Oh, you said you be at the West End.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? The West End?
We're from West Dallas.
West Dallas?
Yeah.
Within the train tracks, we usually see all.
Yeah. That's what a lot of Israelites teach. Because I'm from Dallas, so I know that area. They teach a lot of camps teach out there.
Yeah. So
That's good.
We're from the same rural area. That's dope.
Yeah, but it's really true, bro. You guys come from Issachar.
We're the cousins, basically. Cousins, brother, and whatever.
Because the only reason why you guys grew up in Catholic religion, they forced that on you guys.
Yeah, they forced it.
The only
The
difference,
conquistadors came over here and they took over the Mexicans, which were like in America at the time. The Aztecs, there you go.
Mayans.
Yeah. Mayans, the Aztecs, and all that.
It depends on what part of like your family comes from Mexico.
Yeah, because Hispanics are different, bro.
Yeah,
like they could be more white or they could be more brown. It depends.
From where I'm from, where you from, like our main enemy, because I'm from a different part. I'm from like way lower south in Mexico.
From where you from?
Michoacan.
Michigan.
It's like it's
Mexico,
way down there, and I forgot the name because it's really hard to pronounce because I'm not like a fluent Spanish speaker, but yeah, like Aztecs were our main enemy, but it was interesting to understand both upbringings because they were the same, but we just had like our different gods. That's the only difference. But I understand as a whole, we understand like what is past life, what is afterlife, and like, what sets your soul at peace. That's what I have mainly.
Okay. Let me read Genesis, the 49th chapter, he says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days, right? So, you know, Jacob being our forefather, he's going to prophesy to his 12 sons. And I'm going to go to Issachar.
And in this day and age, it does feel like the last days. After everything we've been through with the whole Bible and stuff, it does feel like we're in the last ages. With technology taking over, like gender, gender's over here kind of like trying to switch over here, like yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're switching the genders.
Alright, so let's go ahead and go to verses 14. It says, Issachar is a strong ass, crouching down between two burdens. He saw that rest was good, and that the man, that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant unto tribute. So Jacob prophesied about the Issacharites in the latter days, y'all be like a strong ass, you see. And we know an ass is like a donkey. So we know that y'all
Carry it a lot.
yeah, hardest working people on this stuff. I mean, literally to this day, everything you see built up is built up by
Our people.
basically.
I get you what you're saying, man.
Yeah, and forget what else it said there. It says y'all became servants to tribute. And it's basically prophecy, you know. That's how we know this Bible is the real book. You know, this is the real thing to
Real, like not whitewashed.
Right, because if you have doubts about your faith, basically that's why the Lord prophesies, right? He tells things before they come to pass.
Exactly.
Can I ask an honest question?
Yes.
I've understood that over millenniums or tens of thousands of years that the Bible has been rewritten in Europeans'
Those
way
white people.
of like looking at life.
Well, if you look into the KJV, King James was a so-called black man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so really, this book wasn't written by white people.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've always wanted to understand is what differentiates your Bible from anybody else's. And I don't mean yours in a derogative term, but I mean like
So what do
as
you believe?
yeah. Like I believe in the Santísima Muerte, and it's the Holy Death.
So, like I said, let's get the book of Isaiah 34:16. Let me get it, guys. Isaiah 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit has gathered them. So the Lord said, seek out of the book of the Lord, which is the Bible, and read, because none of these prophecies, like I said, is not going to fit. You know, what happened to us? What other book can prophesy what happens to our people like right now? Like us being enslaved, us being on the bottom of society. What other book tells you about that?
And I've come to understand that from him and his point of view, but like I guess because I've grown up around this since I was like an infant, I guess you could say, like, and I don't mean that in any like.
So you believe in Jesus? I believe like he was a man on earth. And he actually,
I believe he was a man on earth, but I don't believe in the beliefs that everybody else has come to like see.
Christianity?
Yeah, like type
So
or
let me read this.
Catholicism to a sense.
This is what the word. His name is not Jesus, by the way.
Yeah, I understand.
That's
That, I understand that he's come from the Jewish like point like life. Like I understand that he's not like Christianity. Like he wasn't born within that himself. That's what Christians believe him to be.
He was born in
Yeah, and Hebrew.
He's a Hebrew Israelite.
And like they depict him as a white man when he was actually brown skin. Yeah, like he was like really like a caramel, like our color within ourselves. Yes, I
So just
understand.
understand, y'all are Hebrew Israelites by nationality. It's not a religion, bro. We're not teaching religion. We're teaching.
Exactly.
We're teaching within the people.
Like,
Yeah.
this is our history right here.
Yes.
This was stripped from us, bro. I do want to read what Yahweh says. Matthew chapter 18 and verses 3. It says, verily I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of God. Alright? Well, basically, what he's saying is that we gotta humble ourselves, right? Those things that we learn from our youth up, some of that stuff's not true. So what you gotta do is humble yourself, mentally take all that stuff out, and become a child, bro. Because a child is what? You can teach a child anything, bro. You can tell a child that the sky is green, he's gonna believe it. You see what I'm saying? So y'all, bro, you guys are taught a certain way. You guys gotta put that off and become humble. Basically, understand what you learn in life, bro. See? And then rebuild off of truth. So what we're teaching you is you gotta rebuild, take all that old knowledge and put it away and put this new knowledge in.
I get
It'll
you.
become
I was like that.
Because
Like,
you could be very naive to perception within other people.
But we have to be knowing we grew up in the high school.
And I get what you mean, because I was kind of weary at first, you know. I wanted Christian, you know, I'm going to deal with like this and wrong and stuff like that. I was kind of fearful, but I had to learn, I had to come back to the knowledge, I had to be taught before I was and what to be. I'm going to get you this. This is Mark 7:6. What say believe in it?
Something's in my work there.
Okay.
like that.
This is Mark 7:6. It reads, it says, he answered and said unto them, well have Isaiah prophesied of you, hypocrites, as it is written, this people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And it's talking about the Christianity. We can
It's talking about how like, you want to be close to them, but at the same time, you don't really have that relationship.
It's very hard for me to. I would understand everybody's viewpoint. I'm very open-minded to everybody's view and how they perceive life and how they perceive their, like every saint, every God they live up to. But the only thing about my saint is that it's a lifelong promise that you make once you start to believe as a devotee, and it's something I can never break if I wanted to. But I'm very open to everybody's point of view. I'm very open to everybody's opinion, and they all make sense to me.
Have you heard the curses?
I haven't.
You heard the curses? So, let me read to you the curses real quick. So, I'm going to start at Deuteronomy 28, and I'm going to start at 15, right? It says, but it shall come to pass. So, this is Moses. You know about Moses? Yeah, Moses was prophesying to the Israelites when we came out of Egypt. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So these curses, if we didn't follow the Lord's commandments,
They will be down to me by
It's like a parent. That's why discipline is like it's natural.
So let's get 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. So this was one of the curses that came upon the Israelites as a whole. We're going to be living cursed in the cities and cursed in the fields. So, looking at today's, so-called Negro, Latinos, natives, how do we live within the cities?
The cities,
Like, would you say it's blessed, or would you say it's cursed?
I believe, we got barrios is like the ghetto.
the
TR,
barrios,
So it's essentially the same thing with a different name. And if not, we all have like the painstaking jobs.
We all say in our own group type shit. We all say in our group, but at the same time, sometimes we come
But we know by
we're
blood
still
we're
in the same
connected.
area
There's a
though.
lot of violence within our community. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of guns, a lot of
violence in general.
And it's not like we live in the suburbs. It's not like
Yeah, it's
a
not
majority of our people. It's not like we come from. We don't own nothing, bro. You gotta go to.
We're not from wealthy families along other people and along other like bloodlines.
So this was a curse that was put upon us as a people. You see, now it says, "Curse shalt thou be in the field," meaning slavery. If you look into the history of so-called African Americans, you know how they treated us. If you look into the so-called Mexicans, they basically made y'all think like sugar cane.
We weren't that different. They were hanging Mexicans
They were
off trees.
cutting our heads off. Christopher Columbus and stuff like that.
They conquered our land just as if like they went within like the first time slavery was invented. Not invented, but I mean like discovery when they went to each other's lands and they forced us off of our land. It's within the same thing as like when they conquered Mexico, because it wasn't something that was given upon like that within each other.
Let me get you that. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what y'all saying is in the Bible. This is gonna be the book of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter. I'm going down to I think this is gonna be the first. Yeah, let's start 48 actually. Now I'm sorry, 49. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. This is a curse, right? Alright, it says, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor unto the young. You see, so the Lord will bring a nation against us from far, as swift as the eagle flieth. You see, so who portrays themselves as an eagle? Like whose banner?
We bet the white people, you know what I mean?
Basically all
Anybody
so-called
that sees
Caucasians.
themselves above everybody else.
And it's really going into Caucasian.
Exactly.
So they came against us from
And
so-called the other part of the whole world.
And
See, I
they've
was
conquered
going-
everyone as seeing as if they are higher than above everybody else.
Yes. So where were y'all dwelling at when the conquistadors came by?
Living our lives.
Where y'all dwelling here?
I
ourselves.
mean, like,
different
look at
because there's Native Americans,
Yeah, North
which were already
America
here,
and like
South America. Yeah.
But-
basically the American
But
general.
within ourselves, it depends on rural land. So
It really does.
Since
It's like not every Mexican is the same.
Within we're in
No,
Texas.
I know what you're saying. So like, you got North America, you got South America.
Well, since
But
we're in the South,
within the Americas, like just the whole America.
It's like it teaches like shit. The conquistadors were like over here raping our the women there, so at the same time, there's a little bit more conquistador than what it really is.
The different tribes, you know, were in different areas. But the conquistadors, what do they come with on their flag?
Christianity?
No, eagles.
Oh, the eagles.
Yeah, the conquistadors, they came with that eagle on the flag. And this is a prophecy that says, when y'all are dwelling within the land, the Lord's going to send a nation to come get y'all. Let me keep reading. It says, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, because y'all didn't understand Spanish. Y'all didn't speak Spanish.
We speak our native language at the time.
But the dialect of the Aztecs was actually Hebrew. You know that? If you look into what the Hebrews, the Aztecs spoke, they spoke Hebrew. Aztec is a Hebrew name, you know that? And I don't know where exactly you come from, but we all spoke different dialects of Hebrew. Alright, before Christopher Columbus or whatnot came with Spanish from the world. And it says, you shall not show favor unto the young, nor regard the old. So we don't care if you're young or old. Tell you, put your hands out, raping the women, burning you on the
within they did to other nationalities and with the other races because they didn't understand our waves of life. We all have, from what I see from each other, we all have different beliefs, we all have different viewings, but we all come from the same bloodline, we all come from the same respect.
So you mean
Wait, what you trying to say? Like everybody?
Not within everybody, because there are different nationalities.
Black, Hispanics, Native Americans,
Such as, within ourselves, within this, along the same color.
Not color, bro. It's
not color within like a sense of, you know, deriving everybody else with nationality.
Comparing color.
Like like within Hebrew and within our
don't get me wrong, the
Israelites,
darker the skin, the better. But like at the same time, when you hear someone talk about, I'm browner than this, and that, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make like
it's a way to belittle our race,
think.
even though that we know we're beyond way other races that
we never
that do
brag
nothing.
about this shit.
Yeah.
What's the scripture you just said? Ephraim's like a cake unto him. Yeah, but it tells you that Ephraim, you know, you guys will be the Ephraimites. Well, I mean, let me read this first. I'm gonna explain what that means. Yeah, hell no. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verses 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land at the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. You see? So you guys will be the 10 tribes, right? The so-called Latino tribes today, you guys will be of the northern kingdom. You see? So it was prophesied, I believe, 722 BC. You can look it up. The Assyrians, they came and took you guys out of Israel, and you guys became slaves to the Assyrians, all right? Which actually happened. But they took counsel amongst themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathens and go forth to a further country where never mankind dwelt. You see? So you guys was like, you know, basically like, we're tired of slavery, we're tired of being oppressed by these Assyrians. So you guys were like, let's go somewhere else where never mankind has ever been. So where did y'all go to? America. The Americans. Has anybody been here before y'all?
It's believed that natives were there before us, but we have.
The Native Americans are the 10 tribes as well.
Yeah.
So you guys collectively, you guys are like, let's go to.
Let's go to a land that's been untouched.
Never touched, bro. That's why they called it the New World. See, Christopher Columbus didn't even believe. Well, let's just say the conquistadors and the Spaniards. They didn't even believe this side of the world existed.
They were believed to be going to India. From what I believe, they were looking for new types of like riches and like.
Well, you want to know how they found you? This. Let me keep going. It says that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land, right? So you guys wanted to go into another land and keep our statutes, you know, which that's why, if you look into the fringes, right? We wear fringes to this day, it's a commandment.
Yeah, we're trying to.
What about the Native Americans, bro? What do they wear? Y'all see how they got the fringes and whatnot?
Fringes,
all the animals, they hold it down.
That's a law in the Bible that we were to keep. That's why they kept it. And And like I said, y'all spoke dialects of Hebrew. What else
As
did
in
y'all
our
do?
current day, we were the same thing. We call pantos.
Females have to be covered up.
Yeah. A lot of the same customs and so-called natives that you can find them kind of within the Bible. Y'all kind of did something else.
That's how females are at the same time.
We take it with
witches
different
at
terms
this time.
within
They're trying to take
all
over,
different
not
languages.
witches, you know what I mean? But like at the same time, they're trying to take over the mindset of like us right now as men.
Because within our nationality and our beliefs, there are a lot of witches actually. Because I know about two myself, and it's like
About 2 months.
A lot of our,
I understand.
I say this, but a lot of, if you look into the scriptures, a lot of our, we were known for becoming, like our women were known for doing witchcraft. Like that's just something Israel was kind of like, like they're different gods.
I believe that witchcraft was just another derogatory name towards what our beliefs were.
I got free beer on the way here, so that's the weirdest shit.
And let me finish reading this though. It says, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them and held stood the flood till they passed over. For through the country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half. The same region is called Issacharites. You see, so you guys went from Syria, you guys went through the Euphrates, right? So you guys took the narrow passage, which is, I believe, if you look into it, it's, you know, I wish I had a map.
It was a thin borderline connecting like when it used to be the one big continent altogether.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was a thin passageway between, I believe, Iceland and like the South Americas.
I believe if you go through the Euphrates,
Yes.
it dumps off into the, if I'm correct, not
We have to
Pacific.
have beards.
Huh?
It's by law that we have to have beards. We can't just be shaving off.
Yeah, but basically what this is saying that you guys took a long journey into Issacharites, you see? And I want to look this up right quick. Show you guys what Issacharites, what the region is used.
If y'all don't mind me asking, what made y'all like really get into your beliefs of the Israelites? Yes.
Those are points of spirit, the Lord got choose.
Sometimes you get lost so much, you just don't know. You can't turn to well, what happened to me, I went from Catholic to Christian, where I was like, oh, you just got this relationship with Jesus Christ and you'll be okay and you'll go to heaven, this and that. And after that, I got into a deep spiral of depression. I started looking at myself, like literally when me and him were working 2 years ago, that's when I started changing up on shit. Like I started looking at things more differently. I was like, all right, hold up, this Christianity thing, it ain't really working out. You don't feel it. Yeah, you don't feel it. You don't feel it. And then that's when I met the Israelites from downtown Dallas. And that's when they started explaining to me more and more and more. And I was like, you know what? You're actually starting making more sense than like these whitewashed Bibles and stuff. Because I would look up to it. I was one, like really to the point where I was in this fucking, you know what I mean? And I was like, there ain't no point in that. Because if you really look at it, what they're saying is true. If you just wait off and just follow God's commandments, like how they say in the Bible, but it's differently. Those commandments are different from what we really have to go through, type stuff. Like,
Especially with today's society.
yeah, especially because the women are not really women no more. They're harlots, I guess, if you want to call them like that.
No,
Going
they
back
are,
to
basically.
But yeah, let me go and finish this off for y'all, bro. So this is Issacharites. This is a Jewish encyclopedia. It says the same region, the same land beyond the great river, from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration, according to Esdras. Columbus identified America with this land. You see, so when Christopher Columbus came here, he knew that when he was reading this prophecy, it would show it to y'all, bro. It says, they dwelt there in a region called Issacharites. So Christopher Columbus says this Issacharites is the Americas. So that's what I'm saying. This is how they found y'all, bro. You see, this is literally prophecy. Let me keep going. It says, then dwelt they there until the latter times, and now when they shall begin to come. So you guys are going to be living in the Americas under oppression until the latter days.
Because from what I learned, they depicted our people first, and they like converted them to what they believed, and that's when they brought our related cousins, our brothers, which was y'all, into the picture later on between the 1500s to 1600s, and
but
which
even
later
then, like
converted to
Vietnamese people
slavery.
too, I guess.
Let me read it for you. What do you got?
All right, this is Jeremiah 50. Explain on that. Jeremiah 50 and 33. It reads, "Thus saith the Lord, power of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
So it says the children of Israel. So you guys know you guys are considered the children of Israel.
Issacharites,
The 10
Judah.
tribes, the 10 tribes, the northern kingdom. And it says, and the children of Judah. We are the Judahites. Judah is so-called West Indians, so-called Haitians, and so-called Negroes. We were the Judahites.
What about the Dominicans?
They're
The
northern
Dominicans are the Beyond
Oh, is it correct?
Yes, so read
No,
it, bro.
no, nice.
They're the northern kingdom.
And it reads, it says, they were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
So in the latter days, we will be oppressed together within Babylon the Great. You see? So right now, we're living in Babylon the Great. You see?
It is. America is.
America is Babylon the Great.
Because within like our history is taught within every state, such as our own, which has been in the South and which is has been affected by slavery very much. They don't depict everything in history as it should. They don't depict y'all's history or ours together as a whole, because we are brothers within itself.
They want to teach us that we're different.
Yeah, and they want to whitewash our history. After so many years, they don't depict us as what we should have been, what we could have been as a whole, as a unit.
You know what they're scared of? They're scared of our unity. That's why so-called white man.
But even then, even our race, like our nationality alone, tries to depict us at that. The same way there's like, there might be racist Mexicans and there might be racist blacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they kind of taught us to hate each other, bro.
But regardless, we are family.
They kind of they
Isaiah,
go
Isaiah 11.
You know why we hate each other? Why we have like this kind of animosity?
towards each other.
Yeah, let me read this for you. This is a curse. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 54. For the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So it's a curse spirit that was put upon Israel.
Like cheating?
Yeah. Basically,
That's
no,
what I was already,
well,
yeah.
if you look into this one right here, it says, the man that's tender among you and very delicate, meaning your own brother. We used to be like brothers, man. You know, we had that brotherly love or whatnot. But nowadays, what do? We basically think we're different. Look at this pigs, oh, these are niggas over here.
Yeah, because within ourselves, like, coming from a Mexican
Mexican,
nationality,
would be like,
our brothers,
they being
I know how it is. I know how it is. Like,
our brothers are seen as like, especially if you're like the youngest to the oldest, you see them as like,
don't go
you have
near
to
them, they
get
might
through,
try
yeah.
to rob you,
Like,
this and that.
the-
But at the same time, what do? We rob too, like type shit. It's different how we come across.
Yeah, we're like, we're the same people, but
Yeah.
we
It's
just
just
grew up
that-
different.
yeah.
But we're the same tribe, but they taught us we're different. We're really not, bro. We're under the curse.
If it wasn't for Caucasian nationality, for the Europeans and for all the conquistadors, we would have been taught within the same things upon different languages and just maybe a different customs, but we would have been a unit as a whole.
Yeah, let me read that for you. So this is going to be the book of 2nd Ezra, prophecy. Okay, it's Baruch. Okay. So everything I'm reading today, I'm reading out the Bible. It's making sense. Right?
Yeah.
Like what are the book of Lucas? Like literally, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead. This is the book of Baruch. Baruch chapter 4 verses. It's been a minute since I read this. You know the scripture, the one that says they shall come to their remembrance in that land where they were taken captive.
It's two and like 30.
So yeah, kind of, it's been a minute since I read this. This is the book of Baruch chapter 2, verses 28. And thou spakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, if you will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. So we didn't keep the laws, you know, the Most High God given by Moses. So yeah, we'll be cursed, bro. Cursed. That's why we're scattered everywhere.
Our view was, yes, within scattering upon our people.
Look at this. It says, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. That's what's happening. You see, we're remembering who we actually are, remembering what happened to us, you know, and ultimately where we really descend from, which are Israelites. You see, it says, and shall know that I am the Lord their God, For I will give them an heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people Israel out of the land that I have given them.
That's a prophecy that we're going to eventually go back to Israel. God will shock us back and brings us in.
But right now, we're not going to. Right now,
I
we're
believe in like how 5G is bad and fluoride water is killing us.
Stay on top of it, you know. Like,
I mean, we can't get on top of conspiracy theories because in reality, even if we die, we could die right now.
All that stuff is true. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But let's keep it base right now. See, what we're trying to let you know is that you're the Israelites. And according to prophecy, God, you know, we're going to return back to, you know, the Most High God, keep His commandments, and we're going to be put back in our land, you know.
Eventually.
I believe within the new world, with everything that's conspiring against us, like it's gonna break within their own plan that they have going on within like the higher power and with on like the real 10, 11 families that we founded upon the world. Yeah, 12. They're gonna break within themselves, and that's whenever they break, our own people, our own family will believe in our own customs again. We'll get back to our land.
Let me show you this. Can I get Zechariah 13? So, I mean, well, not everybody's going to
That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Because some people don't believe in our beliefs.
No, they don't even believe in like there's a God.
God's not going to be dealing with all of our people.
Exactly.
He's only looking for His remnant.
Oh, God doesn't help me doing this. God has to deal with everything right now.
And within that, like God doesn't see within their own people the remnants, and like everybody else will be based upon everything else. That's why I believe in the holy death, because like within the end of my life, I will be based upon the scale. It's called a scale, and she holds it within herself to be based upon.
So we're going to read this for you.
This is Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
So, according to prophecies, that 2/3 of our people, Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, are going to be cut off from this land, bro, because they choose not to come back to the side. They choose not to understand this truth. They want to follow after their own ways, their own gods, which is idolatry, you see. So we have a custom and we have a law that was given to us, but we broke it. We're under these curses. So how are we going to get out of these things? It's coming back to it. Understanding who you are, putting off your old ways.
That's something that I've come to grips with, that I didn't come to understand that soon enough. And I've come to my beliefs, and I've accepted my beliefs within my belief is coming to accept that death is holy and death is imminent within itself, and I can never. The sooner that I come to release that promise is the sooner I come to death or in hell.
You know who kills, bro? Who kills? Who would you say like puts people to death, bro? Like that?
I within itself believe that it's based upon faith.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who puts you to death? Like, if you were to, die or whatnot? Like what? Who basically decrees you to die? Would you say Satan or something? Or
Since I believe in the holy death, it's not the Grim Reaper, it's not Satan, it's a saint.
I believe it's either yourself or God.
It's a saint that like she guides you within the life, and she guides you.
You said it's God, right?
Yeah.
So let me go and read this again, right? Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So God, in heaven, He's the one who does all things, man. He kills too. People don't think God kills.